Today is August 6th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It's a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 2, There's a Solution. We'll be reading 27. And out of the 12 and 12, we are going to finish up Step 4 by reading the bottom of page 53 and the top of 54. And of course, we're going to read today's daily reflections and 24 hours a day. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this morning. Once again, we've been given a brand new set of 24 hours, and that is always a good thing. You know, whether we're waking up sober, we're hungover, or we're white-knuckling, today we get to start all over. Clean slate. If we're still drinking, today could be an opportunity to start your whole new life in sobriety. This could be the day. And for those of you who are sober, we have another opportunity to live a wonderful, sober life today. That's always a good thing. With that, let's get to the good stuff. Page 27 of the Big Book. Some of our alcoholic readers may think that they can do without spiritual help. Let me tell you the rest of the conversation our friend had with his doctor. The doctor said, "You have the mind of a chronic alcoholic. I have never seen one single case recover where that state of mind existed to the extent that it does in you." Our friend felt as though the gates of hell had closed on him with a clang. He said to the doctor, "Is there no exception?" "Yes," replied the doctor, "there is. Exceptions to such cases as yours have been occurring since early times. Here and there, once in a while, alcoholics have had what are called vital spiritual experiences. To me, these occurrences are phenomena. They appear to be in the nature of huge emotional displacements and rearrangements. Ideas and emotions and attitudes which were once guiding forces of the lives of these men are suddenly cast to one side, and a completely new set of conceptions and motives begin to dominate them. In fact, I've been trying to produce some such emotional rearrangement within you. With many individuals, the methods which I employed are successful, but I've never been successful with an alcoholic of your description." Upon hearing this, our friend was somewhat relieved, for he reflected that, after all, he was a good church member. This hope, however, was destroyed by the doctors telling him that while his religious convictions were very good, in his case, they did not spell the necessary vital spiritual experience. Next up, the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, Step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. We're going to be reading the bottom of 53 and 54, finishing off the chapter. Some will object to many of the questions posed because they think that their own character defects have not been so glaring. To these, it can be suggested that a conscientious examination is likely to reveal the very defects the objectionable questions are concerned with. Because our surface record hasn't looked too bad, we have frequently been abashed to find that this is so simply because we have buried these self-same defects deep down in us under thick layers of self-justification. Whatever the defects, they have finally ambushed us into alcoholism and misery. Therefore, thoroughness ought to be the watchword when taking inventory. In this connection, it is wise to write out our questions and answers. It will be an aid to clear thinking and honest appraisal. It will be the first tangible evidence of our complete willingness to move forward. Daily Reflections, August 6th. Driven. Driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, and self-pity, we step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 62. My selfishness was the driving force behind my drinking. I drank to celebrate success, and I drank to drown my sorrows. Humility is the answer. I learned to turn my will and my life over to the care of God. My sponsor tells me that service keeps me sober. Today I ask myself, have I sought knowledge of God's will for me? Have I done service for my AA group? 24 hours a day, August 6th. AA thought for the day. Psychologists are turning to religion because just knowing about ourselves is not enough. We need the added dynamic of faith in a power outside of ourselves on which we can rely. Books on psychology and psychiatric treatments are not enough without the strength that comes from faith in God. And religious leaders are turning to psychology because faith is an act of the mind and will. Religion must be presented in psychological terms to some extent in order to satisfy the modern person. Faith must be built largely on our own psychological experience. Have I taken what I need from both psychology and religion when I live the AA way? Meditation for the day. Refilling with the Spirit is something that you need every day. For this refilling with the Spirit, you need times of quiet communion, away, alone, without noise, without activity. You need this dwelling apart, this shutting of yourself away in the very secret place of your being, alone with your Maker. From these times of communion, you come forth with new power. This refilling is the best preparation for effective work. When you are spiritually filled, there is no work too hard for you. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be daily refilled with the right spirit. I pray that I may be full of the joy of true living. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. Much like the doctor says to our alcoholic friend in the big book today, that there needs to be a change, a psychological and spiritual change in a person, and it only comes from his spiritual experience. Basically, in my sobriety, I've had to learn through the advice of many others and through what the big book says to kind of change my perception of the God of my understanding and to constantly seek him and turn my will and my life over to him. And that meant, for me, a lot of times, instead of going in the left direction every single day, the wrong direction for me every single day, very unnaturally, I've had to go to the right direction. And it reminds me of when I was a kid. I think I might have told this story once before. I used to, in New Jersey, we had these woods in the back of our house, and my sister and I, we would build these trails. We would just kind of make new trails up, and one of the trails would actually take us through the woods and eventually through the parking lot of Best Buy, not too far from our house, a little shortcut. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, the first time you build a new trail, a new path, you're moving very, very slowly. You're tripping over things. You're getting caught up in everything. But eventually, the more you walk down that new path, the more it becomes natural. And it's not near as difficult. But the thing is, it takes time to wear it in. And it takes a lot of reps. And just as the reading in August 6th says here in the 24 hours a day, another thing I've learned is I need that alone time with my higher power. It's kind of ironic, but it gives me a big old smile because peek behind the curtain, I record here in the garage. I've got my computer out here and everything, and I've also got my Bible, my recovery literature, all kinds of stuff out here. And the very spot where I used to drink almost every day, now I just come out here first thing in the morning and I pray. And on the good days, I meditate. I just try to close my eyes, clear my mind, and just try to connect with my higher power. And usually in the silence, that's when I discover something. He's never spoken to me in an audible voice that I can think of, but I've had gentle nudges to do the right thing here, or to reach out to a friend here, or to forgive myself here. But it's tuning out all the distractions and really trying to connect first thing in the morning with my Creator that has really transformed my life. In my drinking, I just wasn't doing this. But through experimentation and trying new things in sobriety, I found some things that work and strengthen my connection with my higher power. And because of that, my days usually end up a lot better. Not easier, but richer. And with that, my friends, that's enough of my rambling for one day. All I can say is that, if we were given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.